Good evening. My name is Lucas Spellman, CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 4. This is the 6 p.m. Franklin Fire press briefing. We will have many speakers for you this evening to answer many of your questions.
Good evening. My name is Dusty Martin. I'm one of the Unified Incident Commanders, and I'm the Incident Commander for CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 4. Today, CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 4 went into Unified Command with LA County's Team 3. For today's update, the acreage is at 4,035 acres, and we're currently sitting at 7% contained. Up to date, we have 1,974 firefighting personnel assigned to this incident. Today, we saw the weather moderate, which allowed us to have a lot of success around the fire today. And we're expecting tomorrow for a weather change and a wind change coming tomorrow, going from that northeast wind, the weather changing to a southeast wind, still with gusts to 15 to 20 miles per hour. For tomorrow, we're looking at the wind change with a possible change in direction that the fire has been going. So far today, the challenging areas for us have been on the west side of the fire, up in the Malibu Canyon area. It's extremely steep and inaccessible terrain that the fire is in, and we're working on getting firefighters in there to start containing that. As we went around the fire today, we were able to get personnel in and start putting direct line in. We do have 4,000 acres. This fire burned at a rapid pace from the start of this. As we look forward in the days to come, I want to ensure that getting the citizens back into their homes is our number one priority. But to do that, we have to make sure that the area is safe before we can let folks back in. Currently, we have 6,300 citizens that are evacuated out of their homes, and I want you to know that we do not take that lightly. Our team, our Unified Command, we are working diligently to get the area secured to be able to get people back into their homes. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I am Deputy Fire Chief Albert Yanagisawa with the County of Los Angeles Fire Department, Unified Incident Commander. I'm here today to provide an important update regarding the Franklin Fire. Over the past several days, our dedicated damage inspection teams have been conducting thorough inspections of structures within the fire-affected areas. Today, I want to share updated figures based on their latest findings, having completed 25% of the inspection area. As of this afternoon, the Franklin Fire has damaged a total of 6 structures and destroyed 9 structures. These numbers reflect a comprehensive evaluation conducted by specialized teams working diligently in challenging conditions to assess and document the damage caused by this incident. We recognize that the updates are difficult to hear, especially for those directly affected by this fire. Our hearts go out to all the residents impacted by this tragic event. Please know that our entire team remains committed to protecting the lives and property as we continue our firefighting and our recovery efforts. Also want to express my deepest gratitude to the firefighters, law enforcement officers, emergency management personnel, and community volunteers who have worked tirelessly in response to this disaster. Their dedication and professionalism are commendable. To residents still under evacuation orders, please remain patient. Adhere to the guidance of all of our local authorities. Your safety remains our top priority. We will continue to provide updates as more information becomes available. Thank you for your attention and continued cooperation. Stay safe, and thank you.
Good evening. My name's Jennifer Situ, Captain of Malibu Lost Hills Sheriff Station. The Sheriff's Department continues to coordinate with our local and state fire department and law enforcement partners and the County Office of Emergency Management to monitor the Franklin Fire. We currently have our incident management team and 4 squads, pretty much consisting of about 120 deputies assisting with this fire incident. We have 14 active operations that include evacuations, road closures, roving patrols, and security patrols. There are several road closures affected by this area. There's a soft closure road closure on Pacific Coast Highway between Cane and Doom Road and Corral Canyon Road. Only residents who live within this area are being allowed back. Currently, there is a hard road closure at the following streets: Pacific Coast Highway between Corral Canyon to Topanga Canyon Boulevard, Malibu Canyon Road between Lost Hills Road and Pacific Coast Highway, Mulholland Highway between Las Virgenes Road and Stunt Road, Cold Canyon Road between Mulholland Road and Piuma Road, Tuna Canyon Road between Pacific Coast Highway and Saddle Peak Road. Earlier this afternoon, we opened up Topanga Canyon to full access. There are approximately 20,000 affected citizens, which are under evacuation orders or evacuation warnings. Just to reiterate where our two shelters are: Santa Monica Unified School District Facility at 2828 4th Street in Santa Monica. The other one's at Calabasas Community Center, 27040 Malibu Hills Road in Calabasas. There are two shelters for small animals: Agora Hills Animal Center at 29525 Agora Road and Agora Hills, and then for large animals, Pierce College, 6201 Winnetka Avenue in Woodland Hills. We understand, I've received many phone calls today from residents, and we understand everyone is eager for all the roads to be open. I assure you, we are all working towards that goal and to be able to repopulate soon. However, we must ensure it is safe. Just as we were driving up PCH, there was a utility crew fixing one of the down power lines. We want to make sure that everybody's safe when we repopulate. So thank you for trusting us and for being patient with us. We urge residents to stay informed by watching or following credible news sources, or visit our LASD social media or lacounty.gov/emergency for information update. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Good evening. My name is Ben Allen, and I have the great honor of representing the Malibu community in the California State Senate, and also the unincorporated parts of the Santa Monica Mountains in LA County. And we've spent much of the afternoon touring some of the impacted area, learning about the work that's underway, and engaging in efforts to try to get more support for all the brave folks that are out there, both in law enforcement on the firefighting side, that are doing incredible work right now fighting this fire and clearing brush and ensuring that as the winds shift, we're not going to see some of the terrible images that we saw a couple of nights ago. It's been a very difficult couple of days for this community, but I really do want to just say how extraordinary it is to see how much cooperation that we see between the state, the county, local folks. We're really happy to announce that FEMA has just agreed to support our efforts in a very significant way. So I'm very thankful for our federal partners who are going to be stepping up to help fund a lot of this work that's currently underway here. I want to thank the governor's office for responding very quickly and providing lots and lots of state support to help the folks on the ground. CAL FIRE is here in a major with a major presence. They're working with CDCR. They've got some crews that are up there clearing brush right now in the Sarah retreat area and through the mountains, and working very closely with all of our friends and partners at the city and of course LA County, which has just been such has been at the heart of this effort in keeping people safe. We also had the chance to go up to Pepperdine, where the students were able to stay in place, shelter in place, and stay safe there. The fire went right through that campus, and yet it's amazing to see how well intact nearly the entire campus is, and it's because they've done such a good job over the years in hardening their campus and making sure that it's better prepared for just these kinds of incidents. So our message to everyone is we're here to serve you. Throughout this emergency, as we make our recovery, we have boots on the ground that are keeping everyone as safe as possible, eyes in the sky, dropping water, dropping fire retardant as we speak. So we ask people to stay informed through alertla.org. Please turn to that as you try to get information. We're going to get people back in their homes as soon as we possibly can. Southern California Edison is rewiring right now, checking all of its infrastructure. We want to get East Malibu back up and running right now on the power side. So a lot of work is underway. But I just, on behalf of my constituents, I want to thank the governor, and I want to thank our incredible partnership with the folks at the county. And I want to thank our firefighters who are working so hard to ensure that this community is safe. Looking forward to further work to support this community.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Horvath, the county supervisor for the 3rd District serving this area. And as you heard just a few hours ago, Senator Ben Allen and I toured the fire line with the extraordinary men and women who are fighting this fire actively to protect this community. And I can tell you that it is evident the incredible effort that LA County Fire and CAL FIRE and all of our partners are putting into containing the fire, to limiting property damage, and most importantly, to saving lives. And over recent months, a lot has been made of division in community, but today's resounding message is unity. Unity of mission, unity of purpose, unity of government coming together to protect its people. This is the best of what happens when services, quality services, provided by excellent and extraordinary people are delivered in service to people's safety. The firefighters, the law enforcement personnel who are out here fighting this fire are nothing short of excellent. And I have seen that their purpose is not simply a profession, this is a calling in their work. Our Office of Emergency Management has tirelessly worked to make sure we are communicating with the community, that we are communicating with each other, and that we are clear in how we are delivering a message to keep people safe. The Community Fire Brigade, the CDCR teams who are enhancing the service that our trained personnel can provide, the way they are stepping in with bravery and courage and providing assistance that is necessary in this time of crisis is extraordinary. And the community of Pepperdine that has come together while they are sheltering in place, while they're trying to stay in touch with their community and their families across the country and beyond. They are an extraordinarily resilient community at Pepperdine, and we thank them for the ways that they are training their students, their leadership, and delivering service to this community. Your expertise and resources are invaluable as we navigate these challenges. It is encouraging to be here and to see LA City Fire, Orange County Fire, Santa Barbara Fire, Long Beach Fire, and so many others joining in this effort, united in purpose. Wildfires are a part of life in Southern California, and it is powerful to see our regional coordination and support for one another during emergencies like this one. Mandatory evacuation orders are still in place, and I urge residents to remain vigilant and to follow all instructions from our emergency personnel. I know days away from home are difficult, but rest assured the team here is hard at work, and you are safest at your evacuated site and at their direction. Continue to visit alertla.org to make sure you and your loved ones are informed and safe. If you do not have access to power or Wi-Fi, please follow the road signs, find emergency personnel dispersed throughout the Malibu community, or listen to AM and FM radio for our latest updates. The strength of our Malibu community and the surrounding neighborhoods has been evident throughout this crisis. And to those impacted by the Franklin fire, I want you to know we remain here for you. We are Malibu strong, and together we will continue to face this challenge with resilience and with unity. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Doug Stewart. I'm the mayor of Malibu. And this evening, our hearts and thoughts are with our community members who have lost their homes during this disaster. As you come to grips with the challenges you face, know the city is with you all the way. We want you to know the city is working around the clock and doing everything possible to help residents stay informed and stay safe. We will get through this together, and the city will be with you every step of the way. And as the supervisor said, Malibu strong. Malibu at heart is a small town, and we're a tight-knit community where we all know and support our neighbors. I'm inspired by the strength and the resilience of our community, which always comes together to overcome challenges, and that is what we're seeing during the Franklin fire. Power has been restored to these circuits in Malibu. The Galahad Circuit, from western edge of Point Dume to Point Magoo, and 2 to 4 miles inland. The McGuire Circuit, north of Point Dume from Decker Road east to Winding Way and 3 miles inland. The Merlin Circuit, from Latigo Canyon to Malibu Lagoon and 2 to 4 miles inland. Power remains out in other areas of Malibu, and SCE continues to work on restoration. If you need outage information, go to their website, sce.com/PSPS. And I know from an update with our EOC a few minutes ago that the Edison people are diligently working on repairing the lines that are damaged and doing the inspections. We're trying to get the power up just as fast as we can. It's a city objective, and we're working on it diligently. An emergency shelter is open at Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District headquarters, as was mentioned, and we also have the small animal shelter. If you need additional information on that, please go to our website and you can see what to do and where they may need assistance. Also want to let you know that an air quality warning has been issued due to the smoke. It may not seem that way today, but as the wind changes or it stagnates, we're going to have more of that and be ready for it as in our community. The Malibu City Hall and all city parks and facilities remain closed, and all city meetings and programs are suspended until further notice. We know that residents are eager for information and that the lack of cell service and access to the internet due to the power outages is frustrating and pose a real challenge to staying informed, which is critical during a disaster. We also know that people that have medical issues are being challenged by this. Once again, if you need assistance, please reach out to the city at our website or wherever you can find a neighbor to assist you. Going on 2 to 3 days, we understand some of our people that have medical challenges may need assistance. Please, if you know a neighbor that has a problem, please reach out to them. The city continues to work with cell service providers to restore cell service in Malibu, and a mobile cell tower will be set up at the pavilions in Point Dume to provide limited service to the immediate area. This is in addition to the Verizon cell on wheels, which is now operating here in this area, as well as the generator that's being repaired in the Civic Center that was burned out during the fire. Lastly, I'd like to thank all of our fire and law enforcement responders for their amazing and tireless work protecting lives and homes in Malibu. We owe you a debt of gratitude that we'll never be able to repay, and we'll never forget you, every one of you. I'd like to also shout out to our volunteer fire brigade, our sheriff's volunteers on patrol, and the Malibu CERT team who are helping our community stay safe. As I've said before, Malibu is a community of volunteers, and we're seeing the finest at work right now, both in our volunteer corps and in our professionals. Thank you.
Good evening, folks. My name is Sean Inouye, and I have the pleasure of serving as our Executive Director for the American Red Cross here in Western Los Angeles. And I just want to take a moment to share the gratitude with all of our elected officials, our county, our city, our state, federal responders, and of course our first responders that are helping to keep our residents safe and keep their lives and livelihood intact. The Red Cross is going to be here. We're going to continue to be here for the length of this response. As you've heard, we have a shelter open with the Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District at 2802 4th Street there in Santa Monica. You do not need to be staying at that shelter to receive services. Come grab a hot meal. If you are bringing a pet, just make sure you bring a small crate for them. The Department of Animal Services is there as well to provide extra care. We want to remind folks to visit redcross.org for the most recent updates on where we have our shelters and what services are being provided. We are going to pivot, and once we do pivot to recovery, our casework teams will be there to provide ongoing casework support for the folks who are looking to transition into their next housing solution if they've lost their home. But again, we want to just thank everybody up here, remind everybody, redcross.org for the most recent updates. And again, stay safe. Thanks, folks.
That has concluded our speakers. We are now going to take some questions.
Chief, if you would. You mentioned we're at about 7% containment, but we're going to have a weather shift, which is going to push the winds from onshore back up into there. How are we looking to increase the containment, and are you hoping to get the hard containment lines in a position to where it's going to protect whatever homes are here in the Malibu area?
Yes. So today was a big effort of working on securing that line for the predicted winds that are shifting in tomorrow, and to make sure we're prepared for that. One thing to understand is that in a lot of the areas out here is it's extremely steep, rugged terrain that's almost inaccessible. So one of our top priorities is also the first responder safety out there, especially as we get down to nightfall. With some of these canyons, it makes it really, really tough to work in. We have about 20 miles of fire line that need to be contained, and control lines put in around that, and we are working on that diligently to do that.
Do you have the ability to put camp crews and bulldozers on those back areas, and is that going to be a primary function tomorrow, getting people, boots on the ground at the point where the fire is expanding?
Yes, sir. So we do have boots on the ground. We have our hand crews that are out working out there already. Some of the area is not accessible by bulldozers, but where the opportunity is, we're putting them there.
Other questions?
We'll just wait for the mic. He'll be here in a second.
Good evening. 2 questions from Malibu Times, please. I'm seeing homeless folks still here, which they have the right to do, but is there any outreach by homeless teams? And it may be premature, but do we have any indication of what exactly caused the fire? Thank you.
Harry, would you like to speak on the homeless?
Well, as the locals know, we've made great strides in improving the homeless situation. If you go back several years ago, we had over 250 homeless. We're down to around 50 to 60 right now. And we have the people concerned, the sheriff's homeless outreach programs, and we also have an outreach coordinator from the Council of Governments that we work with. We will make contact with all these people and work with them diligently. We know where most of these people are. The Civic Center is a population center for some of them, and we're aware of that and trying to deal with it. That's the best we can do at the moment until we get the evacuations lifted.
Any other questions? Raise your hands, please.
So for the fire cause question, our fire investigators are on scene, and they will go through the intensive process of determining the best they can on what caused the fire, and that report will be out as soon as they have completed their investigation.
Over on this side real quick. When it comes to road closures, what does it take to kind of open up a road again, especially a major thoroughfare like PCH, and kind of what markers do you guys look at internally to make sure it's safe for cars and regular folks to be back on those roads?
So there's a number of things that we look at. One, just as I was driving up on PCH, the utilities were out actively fixing the utility lines. So we work actively with our utility companies and our fire department. And once everybody feels comfortable that the road can be opened, then that is something that we will do. So we continually assess it, because it is one of our number 1 priorities, is to get people back in and to repopulate this community.
Do we have another question over on this side?
Yes, CAL FIRE. What is the main area of where the fire is burning right now, and how long will the containment take?
Yeah, so today we saw the growth on the west side there in the Malibu Canyon. As far as how long it'll take us to contain it, it'll probably take a number of days to contain it due to the current terrain that is out there and the ability to get resources in and to put line around it. For us, when we talk about putting line around the fire, that's scraping the vegetation down to the bare mineral soil right on the edge of the black, or as close as we can get to that, to ensure that that fire will no longer spread out. You may not see some smoke or flames there, but rest assured our crews are still out there working and to establish that containment line to where we feel comfortable that it's not going to spread any farther.
Any other questions back here?
This will conclude this evening's event. This will be the last evening for this type of press briefing. We will start tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. with Facebook Live. You will be able to ask questions during this update. Thank you and be safe.